This is our t-shirt that we are going to make. And we're going to make several different ones, but I wanted to go through the process because it is quite easy. So the first thing I did is I did some sketches of what I would like to create. So I decided I wanted to make a tree hugger shirt. For the next time that I'm in Oregon, I can wear this shirt. So it's going to be a circle with the trees in it, and then down below I was going through a different couple of ways to say hugger or hug me. I was trying to decide which one I wanted. I tried this hugger, and then I tried a hug me, but then I realized that because I'm working with a circle up above, I wanted the letters to contrast the circle. So I wanted font and letters that had really straight lines. So I went to my computer and I printed out several different fonts of Hug Me, and I played around with the kerning, and kerning is the spacing in between each of the letters. And I went ahead and I chose this one because I think it's nice and straight. It's nice, a block font. It's Helvetica, classic Helvetica. And I think it's going to contrast really great with my circle design. So to make your screen print, you need an embroidery hoop. And this embroidery hoop I got at the thrift store, and you just want to make sure on your design that it is a little bit bigger than your overall design. So this one here works great. And then you need some screen, and I am using this very sheer fabric, and it's actually a curtain panel. So in curtains it has the panel that kind of blocks out the light, and this is that panel. And I got it at the thrift store, and I got this big panel, and I've been using it for quite a while, so one panel will definitely serve you for a while. I am putting my fabric in between the edges of my embroidery hoop, and there is a knob on the top that I am tightening, and I'm also going to just gingerly pull it on every single side to make sure that it's nice and tight, because we want it nice and tight inside there. And this is a little bit too much fabric around the edge, so I'm just going to cut a little bit of it off. I don't want to cut it too close to the edge, but I don't like this bulky fabric. It kind of gets in my way, so I want to just trim it. Give it a little trim. There we go. The next thing I need to do is I need to take my design and I need to draw it on my screen. And this is important. I want to lay it down. There is a lip on your embroidery hoop, and you want to make sure that it lays down so the screen is next to your design. You're going to do that to make sure that your words are the correct way and not flipped. But you also want no space. If I was to lay it this way, I'd be pressing it down to reach my design. So this way I want it nice and flush with my design. And I'm just going to take a Sharpie. This is a fine line Sharpie, and I'm just going to trace my design. A screen print works on a positive and negative design. So you have your positive design, which is what you want on your shirt, and you have the negative design, which is the things all around it. So for me, the trees are going to be the negative, and they're going to be the color of my shirt. And then the circle all around it is going to be the positive, and it is going to be black in my design. And that's the color of ink that I'm going to use. So I have transferred it to my screen. I think it's really easy to see through the screen fabric, but if you for some reason cannot see it, you can take both of these over to a window, and up against a window with some light coming in, that will help create like a little light box, and you'll be able to transfer your design. So here's my design. I need to add the area of resist. And to do that, I'm going to use this product called Mod Podge. And Mod Podge is a decoupage glue. So it's a type of glue. And I'm going to paint all around my circle with the Mod Podge. And when it dries, it's actually going to create an area so the ink will not go through that area. So it's creating a resist. So I'm painting all around it. It kind of, because this is very sheer fabric, it has a tendency to come onto the other side. So I'm just going to kind of go back and forth from side to side. Getting all of my squidgies out and painting it, and it really does matter how carefully you paint it. So you want it to be done in the very best way, the very best craftsmanship that you can. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to continue to paint. I usually do 2 coats to make sure that there's no pinholes in it, and I let it dry in between coats. What's really great, again, because of the embroidery hoop, I can set it down and there is a space in between my table and the fabric, so it can be drying and it's not going to stick to anything. Now it is time to screen print our t-shirt. So I have a white t-shirt here, and what I have done is I have put paper, or sometimes you can use cardboard, in between your shirt. So that way when you print something on this side, it's not going to get onto the back of your t-shirt. I wanted to remind everyone that this is the shirt that we are printing. So at Pittsburgh State University, we are home of the gorillas. So we are printing a gorilla. This stands for Kansas Art Education Association. So we have a screen for the black, and you have to have a new screen every time you change color. So we have a special red screen just for the sunglasses. But first we're going to print the black. So this is the black screen, and you can see that I've done it the exact same way by putting Mod Podge in the areas that I want to stay white. I am looking right here at the V of the V-neck, and I want to line up this gorilla shirt right so the middle part is right here in this middle section. You can also see that I have changed clothes, threw my hair up, because this is special ink for fabric. It says fabric on it, but it also has the picture of the t-shirt, so Speedball ink for fabric. It is designed not to come out of fabric. So as I am printing, I want to put an apron on, I want to protect myself and my clothes, so therefore I'm not going to get it on anything unnecessarily. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm just going to take a spoonful, and I'm basically just going to put it here at the top of my design. Let me put that right over there. And I need something to act as the squeegee to squeegee it down across my design. So I'm going to kind of keep one hand setting my design down so it's nice and flush against the fabric. And I've just folded a piece of paper, which I am just going to pull. I'm basically using that as my squeegee, and I want to make sure that the whole thing is covered in the black ink. This screen can be used multiple times, so you could print everybody in the club or on the team's t-shirts the same day. I need a little bit of ink. I did not get enough right there, so I'm just going to add a little bit more up on top, and I'm going to pull it down to make sure that I have covered it really well. That's important. It's very hard to line up your design and do it twice, so you want to make sure that it's done really well the first time. Better to use more ink than not enough. So I have it on here. I'm just going to set this over here on the side. And the next thing I do is I'm just going to pull off the screen, but I'm going to hold down my shirt. So I'm holding down the t-shirt, pulling off the screen, and I've got this great looking gorilla. It did turn out really nice, if I must say so. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to add the red sunglasses.